So we're going to talk about solutions and the definitions of terms and solutions. And the first thing is a solution is a mixture of two or more substances, and the big deal is it is homogeneous. It has to be homogeneous to be a solution. Although you could talk about heterogeneous solutions, that is not the norm. When people say solution, they are meaning homogeneous. All right, so the first term is a solute. A solute. So the solute is a substance being dissolved. It's usually in a lesser amount. The solvent is the substance doing the dissolving, usually in a greater amount. So, for example, typically you have sodium chloride, for example, in water. Sodium chloride would be the solute. And since it's in water, that implies that water is the solvent. This is always the case. If it says it's in something, the thing that it is in is the solvent. That should make sense. That is the thing doing the dissolving. In our case, water is normally always the solvent. You can have more solute than solvent sometimes. That's nebulous, and you have to read the questions carefully. The next two are miscible and immiscible. Miscible is two substances are able to form a mixture, for example, sugar and water. It can be in almost 100% proportions, but it doesn't have to. If you can do 10%, they're said to be miscible, or that it can be nebulous exactly what that percentage is. Immiscible means two substances do not dissolve in each other. An example would be oil and water. So solubility is how much solute is able to dissolve in the solvent. This is the maximum amount. Concentration is the amount of solute that is actually dissolved in the solvent. And this will have units of molarity, and we'll talk about these. Molality, very little bit, but we'll do it. And mass percent. Those are the three terms that we use to describe how much is actually dissolved in the solvent. A couple other terms are, a term is concentrated. When we say a solution is concentrated, it has a lot of solute in the solvent. If we say the solution is dilute, we have a very small amount of solute dissolved in the solvent. The other two terms are saturated and supersaturated. Saturated is the maximum amount under normal conditions that can dissolve in the solution. Supersaturated is when you have more dissolved in a solution than is possible. This is a very unusual situation, but sometimes you can put dissolved stuff in solution, heat it up, and get more in there, and then cool it down. And so what happens is you get more in there than is possible, and then all you got to do is touch a solution and it all falls out. It's like balancing a pencil on its eraser. It's not stable and it won't stay there. Okay, this term confuses students. Just remember, supersaturated is more dissolved in the solution than is possible. That's it. Those are definitions. We'll define some of these other terms like molarity, molality, and mass percent when we talk about them.